Can you calm down, ma'am? Why my stomach gotta interrupt me like that? Jesus. Hey, hi, hello everybody. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm gonna go ahead and start off this video by saying if you hear super weird little noises throughout this video, my bed is actually directly above me and I didn't want to wake up my boyfriend, so he's still sleeping up there. Anyways, I have a super exciting video for you guys today. We are going to be playing around with a bunch of teeny tiny little makeup. So my entire face of makeup is actually in this bag, which is saying something because if I have ever come to like spend the night at somebody's house for one night, my makeup bag is normally this size. It's literally the size of like my whole torso. So we're just going to ignore that. But I am super excited because if anybody knows me, they know that I have a strange obsession with like little tiny things, and that might just be because I'm a tiny person. Like, I like to think that because I'm so small, I like little things, and I'm just really excited for this video. So let's cut out the 30-minute intro and just go ahead and hop right in. So for primer, I'm going to start off with the little baby Smashbox Photo Finish Primerizer. It's so freaking cute. You're going to see me freak out about how cute things are a lot in this video. But this one actually does have a pump. I think that I got this probably in an Ipsy. A lot of these things came from Ipsy or like the Sephora Play where they sell them after they're already released to the people that are subscribed to them, or like gift with purchase. Sephora points, when they're like, would you like to spend 500 points on a swipe of eyeshadow on a card? And I'm like, yes I would. Because does anybody else think that the point systems are ridiculous? Like, I work at a retailer where the point system is probably the best one out there, and I still think that it's ridiculous. Like, I think that point systems are absolutely stupid, but whatever. So that one goes on super fast, like that's done. Anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and actually double prime today, and a few of these I do have the full-size versions to show you next to them because I think that it's so cute. So this is the Tarte Timeless Smoothing Primer, and this is the full size, and look at the little baby next to it. It's so cute. Anyway, okay, I need to stop. But I'm going to take this and just press it around my nose and a little bit on my forehead and my chin because that's where I have the largest pores. This primer definitely has a lot thicker texture than most pore-filling primers, but it really does do an amazing job. I find that I literally put it on and my pores disappear, and I don't know how that's possible. It blows my mind. But it doesn't have that like silicone-y slip that a lot of pore-filling primers do. It's very thick, and it just does such a great job. I haven't found a better one. So moving on, I do have a small sample size of the Pure 4-in-1 Love Your Selfie foundation, which I love. This is actually in the shade MG3. You guys see me use the shade MG2 quite often. And I also have a small little oil, and this is the First Aid Beauty Ultra Repair Oat and Cannabis Sativa Seed Oil. So I'm going to put a drop or two of this into this foundation. Like I said, baby, full size. It's so cute. The packaging isn't the same. I would have liked to see just like a teeny tiny this. I think that would have been like adorable, but it's okay. So I have a little palette in front of me, and I'm going to go ahead and mix this foundation with the oil. Like I've mentioned in previous videos, this foundation is very full coverage, so I find that if you dilute it with a drop or two of oil, that it's still very full coverage, but you can kind of get it to a more natural finish. And something that I really like about the First Aid Beauty oil is it has a lot of benefits for the skin, and it's also a dry oil, so it's not going to make you look super greasy throughout the day, and it's really good mixing oil. I also like it using in the morning on top of a moisturizer if I feel that I need that little bit of extra hydration. Another thing about minis is some people like to see how they compare to their full sizes, and I have never noticed a difference in any mini versus full size that I've ever owned unless I got it out of like a holiday kit. So sometimes brands will release holiday kits, and that's the only time that I've ever found a difference. For concealer, I'm going to be going in with the IT Cosmetics Bye Bye Under Eye Full Coverage Correcting Concealer in the shade Medium. This is actually the shade Medium Natural. I probably got this in an Ipsy, and I'm probably just going to take this right on the under eyes. I do have a little blemish down here, but this is going to be too light for my liking to cover that. So I think I'm just going to leave it alone. This concealer is a very heavy emollient concealer, so it's one that you're definitely going to have to set unless you have like the driest skin on the planet, or maybe if you have super mature skin. I know that a lot of people that are older love IT Cosmetics for that reason. It has a lot of benefits for the skin, or at least IT Cosmetics is a brand that is stated to have a lot of benefits for the skin. I don't know if I personally feel that way looking at some of their ingredients lists. For their skincare products, their most popular product is that CC cream that they carry, and that one is actually a really good product if you're looking for a skincare and makeup type product in one. That's probably the best ingredient list I've ever seen on a foundation makeup type of product. But as far as the rest of their line, I think that their claims are just kind of wild. Another claim that I find really, really strange about IT Cosmetics is they claim to be formulated by plastic surgeons. And I would find it more comforting if a brand said formulated by a dermatologist and not a plastic surgeon, because plastic surgeons are there to fix the problems that are already there, not stop them from happening. And so that makes me slightly iffy about their skincare line. But well, that's for another video. For powder, I have this teeny tiny little baby of the Hourglass Veil Translucent Setting Powder. This powder is really, really good. The full size actually comes in a very strange packaging. It has like this giant stopper and you can't get any product out, or at least that's what it would seem to me. I'm going to go ahead and bake under my eyes with this because this is a concealer that I feel needs to be set really, really well. So I'm going to go ahead and bake under the eyes and then just lightly set the rest of the face. So for contouring, this is another one that I have the full size and the mini to show you. So this is the full size Fenty bronzer, and the full size I actually have the shade Into Sun, and the mini I have the shade Shady Biz. But look, it's just a little baby. It's a tiny baby Fenty bronzer. It's so cute. Like, and it... I need to calm down. Do you just ever have that like Taylor Swift song playing in your head when you freak out over stupid shit? Where you're just like, you need to calm down. You're being too loud. That's how I feel all the time. But these bronzers are really, really nice. I think that the full size that I have is slightly too light for me. This is a more appropriate shade, but the other shade works for me as well. I think that I have a pretty versatile skin tone where I can make most things work. I'm relatively lucky in that respect, where my skin tone is just kind of that awkward in between of like, you are not tan, but you're also not white. So it's really fun finding a foundation to match me, because it's just kind of like that awkward in between skin tone where you're just like, well, you're not warm golden, but you're not ivory sand, so good luck. And I'm just like, rude. Fine. But when it comes to like bronzers, it makes my life easy. Anyways, for bronzer, I'm going to take the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Bronzer in the shade Luminous Bronze Light. I have this little teeny tiny baby one. I don't think I would ever spend full price on Hourglass because it's, well, I can't say that. I definitely would. But Hourglass is very, very luxury. I probably got this in one of the Sephora Favorites kits. And it's really, really pretty. But Hourglass is so freaking expensive. It's ridiculous. But I'm just going to use this to bronze up the skin. This bronzer does blend really, really beautiful. Something that I have to say about small size pans, or like any mini size pans, is sometimes it can be difficult to get your brush into them just because they are so tiny. I run into that problem with the blush as well. For blush, I have the small size of NARS's Orgasm blush, and this is a really, really versatile blush shade. It's just a pinky peach. It goes with absolutely anything. I find myself, I've had this for years and I do not reach for it, so I thought it was a very appropriate time to just pull it out for this video and see if I can get some use out of it. It is really, really, really pretty. I just never go for it. So I'm going to go ahead and apply this to the apples of my cheeks. So as you can see, that went on really, really nicely. It's not patchy, and it has a little bit of a luminous kind of glow to it. However, it is a lot more pigmented than I remember it being. So what I do when I screw up with blush like that is I take a big fluffy powder brush, and this one has like probably some leftover powder foundation on it, but I just kind of go in and try and diffuse that out a little bit because that is so much brighter than I remember it being. Holy moly. So that looks better. And next up is highlight, and I can tell you right now, having this luminous blush, we are going to look like a glowy bitch today because I have 2 highlights to play with. So the first one is the Milk Makeup Highlighter in the shade Lit, and this is a cream highlight in a stick form, and then the next one is the Artist Contour Highlight in the shade Conceited, which is a loose highlighter, and it has like visible glitter in it. So we're really going to hope that this doesn't turn into a disaster. With the Milk one, I'm actually going to warm it up on my finger and just kind of tap it into the skin and hope that that looks okay. This Milk Stick highlighter is actually one that I wouldn't prefer to apply with a synthetic brush. I think it blends the best with either a clean finger or a dampened beauty blender. And it actually does apply really, really nicely. It's super, super natural if you just want to use it on its own. As for the Artist Couture highlighter, it's definitely very blingy, very bright, very vibrant. However, like I said earlier, sometimes getting a brush into a super small pan or a super small pot is very difficult, and loose highlighters in general are very messy. So combining a normal size brush with a teeny tiny mini highlighter, it makes it go absolutely everywhere. So that is the only problem that I have with this, but it is definitely very, very beautiful. Now moving on to brows, I do have a couple different brow products to use today, and they are both by Benefit. So I have their Mini Ka-Brow in the shade 3, and then the Mini Gimme Brow in the shade 4.5. So this is the mini, this is the full size. There's not a huge difference between them. And the Gimme Brow I normally use in the shade 6. So 4.5 is slightly light and also slightly warm for me, but we are going to make it work today. So as always, I'm going to fast forward you guys to the brows, and I'll be right back. Okay, so the brows are on. I don't know, how do you guys feel about them? Generally, I hate it when my brows pull warm at all, but I don't hate this. I think it looks really, really good. I think it looks nice and natural. I think that they're a little bit light for my liking as well, just because my hair is so dark and I'm wearing all dark colors as well right now. But I think that if my stomach could stop growling, that would be incredible. It's been growling for the past 15 minutes. Anyways, moving on. I do have a small eyeshadow primer, believe it or not. This is the mini size. This is the Fenty Beauty Pro Filter Amplifying Eye Primer, and this came in a set with their mini eyeliner, which we will get to in a moment. I'm going to go ahead and apply this all over the lids for you guys. So this eye primer, I will say, is the only eye primer I've ever used that has a learning curve. It's super, super weird. So if you read the reviews anywhere on this, people either absolutely love it or they absolutely hate it. And that is because there is a learning curve. I think that if everybody knew how to use it, everybody would love it. So the thing about this eye primer is you actually have to allow it to sit on your eyes for a good 30 to 60 seconds and allow it to completely dry, or else you'll have super, super patchy shadow. It won't look right. It'll cling in the weirdest ways and it just will look bad. But if you do allow it to sit for that amount of time and completely dry down, then it'll cling onto your eyeshadows. Your eyeshadows will blend completely beautifully over it, and they will last until you go in and scrub it off. I have two little baby eyeshadow palettes here. So the first one is the Viseart Petite Pro 2, and the second one is the Natasha Denona Mini Nude palette. And so I think I'm going to do a little mix and match of both of these. This one has more warm, neutrally shadows, and this one has more like rosy tones, which I think is really, really pretty. It has a couple cool shadows in there as well. So I think we're just going to do a little playtime on the eyes. And so I'm going to go ahead and start with this shade in here called Coin, and I'm going to go in and use that as my like crease shade. Natasha Denona and Viseart shadows both blend absolutely beautifully. There's a reason that they are so overwhelmingly raved about in the beauty community. So after I'm done blending that shade Coin into my crease, I'm going in with the deep brown shade in the Viseart palette on a smaller crease brush and blending that into my outer corner and then lower into the outer crease. And then right after that, I'm going to take the shade called Soil on a dense packing smudger brush and blend that down onto my lower lash line. Next, I'm going to go in with the reflective purpley silver shade in the Viseart palette and take a clean finger packing that all over the lid. Something that I also like to do is go in with the brush that I first started out with and blend out all of those edges. And then the very last shade that I'm going to take is I'm going to take the shade Lumino from the Natasha Denona Mini Nude palette and highlight my inner corner and brow bone. So the eyes are done. I think that they turned out absolutely beautiful. I really, really love that purpley shade on the lid from the Viseart palette. I don't know if it's reflecting purple on camera, but when it hits the light just right, it's like purple, and then when it's not hitting the light like that, it's just like this silvery wash. It's the most unique purpley silver shade that I have found to date. It's so good. So next I'm going to go in with eyeliner, and I have no idea where I got this, but I do have a mini of the Maybelline Lasting Drama waterproof gel pencil, which needs to be sharpened. I'll be right back. Okay, and I have returned with an eyeliner pencil that won't gouge my eyeball out. So this is going to go in my waterline and my tightline, and then the liquid eyeliner that I have, like I mentioned before, is the Mini Fenty Beauty Fly Liner in the shade Cause I'm Black, which I'm not black, but it's okay. So I'm going to go ahead and fast forward you guys through this as well. So the Maybelline pencil glides on really, really smoothly, really nice, goes on super black. Something that I will say about mini pencils is they are a pain in the butt to sharpen. So if I'm going to have a mini pencil, I would rather have it be retractable. However, it is really, really nice. The Fenty Beauty Fly Liner is one of my absolute favorites. It goes on so smoothly, glides across the eyes. Something about the triangular shape makes it really easy to hold as well. And it dries to a really beautiful matte black finish. It just goes on so nicely. It's so easy to wing out as well. It's just very user friendly. And so if you've never tried an eyeliner, if you have a lot of trouble with eyeliner, that's one to think about. Okay, so eyeliner is on. Wings are definitely two completely different angles, but that is totally user error. That is my fault, but it's okay. So we're going to go ahead and go in with mascara, and I have the mini size of the Lancome Monsieur Big. I cannot speak French. I took French for 2 years. I can't say it. Anyways, this is the mini size. Like I said, I do have the full size to compare it to. It's so cute and tiny. This is the holiday packaging, by the way. But I'm going to go ahead and apply this, and I will be right back. This is definitely not a mascara that I would generally choose for my lower lashes just because the wand is so large. However, for my upper lashes, it does an amazing job. I think that for my eyes and for my lashes, no mascara ever does the greatest just because my lashes are so finicky, and if I can find a mascara that really, really works, you know that it's good and it'll probably work on anybody. But this mascara does do pretty well, and keep in mind that I don't curl my lashes because I have found that if I do curl them, they drop even faster than if I don't. So mascara is on. Now for lips, this is probably the category where I have more minis than absolutely anything just because they're so accessible. Like, they're holiday mini lip kits, and then you get free samples of lip things, and there are just so many tiny lip things out in the world, and somehow they have all reached my house, and I have all of them. So we do have a mini lip liner and a mini liquid lipstick. So for the lip liner, I'm going to be using the Sephora Rouge Gel Lip Liner, and this is in the shade Nothing But Nude, and then I have the Makeup Forever Artist Nude Cream in the shade 08. And so I'm going to go ahead and line my lips and then fill them in with this lip cream. As far as these lip liners go, I actually received that lip liner in a Sephora play after it was released to the public when they sell them online on Sephora.com, and I loved it so much that I went and bought 3 of the full sizes. So I bought that shade, so I have Nothing But Nude, and then I have 2 other shades. I have Let's Get Lost, which is like a peachy nude color that's a bit lighter, and I also have Rum Raisin, which is like a crazy deep berry purple. When it comes to the Makeup Forever lip cream, I really, really love the formula of this one. And something about mini lip products, as long as the applicator picks up enough product, sometimes I'll like those applicators significantly more because it's easier to line your lips and get a precise application. So the lips are done. I really, really like this combination, and I love how the face is turning out. So the last step that we have to do is setting the face, and I have the smallest setting spray that you guys have ever seen. This was 100% a free sample when I did an online purchase or something. But this is the Urban Decay All Nighter Makeup Setting Spray, and it is literally the size of my thumb. It is smaller than my thumb. It's the size of my ear. It's so tiny, and I'm sorry, it's so small. This is like actually ridiculous. You're maybe gonna get 2 uses out of this, but I mean, if you're going on a weekend trip, just throw this in your purse and you'll be fine. It's so small. Anyways, I'm going to go ahead and set my face with this. And it's not even hitting my face. Okay. So, something I'll say is the mister's obviously not as good as the regular all-nighter, but for something that is this big, you can see the spring in it. I have full-size misters that aren't this good. Like, that's all I have to say about it. It shocked me, but I used up almost half the bottle. Like, it's just ridiculous how small that thing is. So that concludes this makeup look, you guys. I really love how it turned out, and I'm super, super glad that I actually enjoyed this look. I do have some pictures to go take later today, so that is super exciting. I will say I am no stranger to little tiny makeup. Like I said, I wouldn't use this super often. The NARS blush I wouldn't use super often, but I'm pretty sure I don't even own a full-size blush. So I use these minis very, very frequently. And if this gave you any inspiration to dig through your collection and play around with minis, I know that it was super, super fun for me. Maybe it'll be super, super fun for you. But go ahead and give this video a big thumbs up if you guys enjoyed it. Something that I always forget to tell you guys to do is ring the bell so that you can be notified of every video that I post. If you really enjoyed this and you would like to see more of me, you can go ahead and watch my last video right here or subscribe to my channel right here, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye!